Good morning, everybody. I'm Eureka John, and you're at Eureka Street Crypto, broadcasting from Leander, Texas. It is 6:43 in the morning on a Sunday, July 24th, 2022, and this is episode 482. So, getting closer to 500. Don't know what I'll do for the 500th episode, if anything, but that's just a placeholder anyway, just like birthdays nowadays. So when the older you get, the more of the birthday is just kind of a placeholder, an arbitrary placeholder. Your age really becomes less and less relevant. It's more about how you take care of yourself, I think. Anyway, this is my morning video blog, brain dump, where I spew all my crypto news and stuff that I learned that I talk about. And this is my sandbox for playing around with audiovisual stuff. And this is my message in a bottle to other people out there, in or outside of the crypto space. But this show is about Web3 and crypto. And I make it a lot about myself too, because that's just how I roll. So why not? You know, I'm not getting paid for this. This is just my own little video blog, and purely narcissistic, and it's just fine, man. It's what it is. This is my journey through the crypto space. If you don't want to follow it, yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, go get a step-by-step instructional. But but if you don't mind sitting here, listening and learning, and kind of just playing around with me, then that's really good. As I play with myself in the morning. All right. Pardon my hair. It's a little like. The girls slept in my bed last night. My wife and my other two little daughters, they just like starfish me and like sleep sideways, and then I end up like tossing and turning, and then my hair looks like this in the morning. So, all right. Whatever. All right. So let's go over here and take a look at CoinGecko and let's see where we are. Let's see. Yesterday, Bitcoin was at 23,000. Ethereum was at 1,600, and it doesn't look like much has changed. I just hit the refresh button. So it's $22,737.50. Ethereum's at 1623.06. I don't sit here and try to do technical analysis. TA is what it's called. I just kind of get a general overview, kind of like looking at the baseball or football stats in the back of the newspaper back in the 90s when I used to get a newspaper, and seeing where your home team is, and Bitcoin and Ethereum. I'm pretty much going with the mains in crypto right now. During the bear market, I've cashed out a lot of my weird altcoins, and I've pretty much stuck with Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, and I have a bunch of bank token, but that's because that's what I earn in the bankless DAO for doing stuff like podcast editing and participating in the DAO and stuff like that. I do have some Near protocol that's up 20.8%. Chainlink's up 8.5% to 714. I have some Kronos token, the Crow token, because I use crypto.com for my on-ramp. This seems to be like the one crypto exchange that has like not had issues lately. I mean, there's a few others, but I mean, I'm just saying as like one of the mains, we've had all that stuff go down with like 3 Arrows Capital, with Celsius, Voyager, Terra Luna, it's just like, man, so much just negativity in the crypto market lately. So crypto.com has managed to stay away from it, and they just got fully approved for regulation and everything like that in the Cyprus. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about that, but they seem to be one of the ones that might pull ahead. When we had the .com bust and a lot of websites just like fell out of place when the bubble burst. And there were a few mainstays that kind of just hung in there and rode it through. And maybe crypto.com might be one of those during this crypto bubble. I don't know. We'll find out. So let's see, anything else that I think should be brought up. Axie Infinity is up 23.5%. They went through that big Ronin hack, and Ronin is the their Axie Infinity is on the Ethereum blockchain, but you can't really do play to earn games on the Ethereum blockchain. because it's expensive. So they created basically a layer 2 chain called Ronin, and that's where all their quick transactions go on, like that you would do in a game, so like to replace your skin or to buy or sell certain items in the little shop, that's in a lot of times in games and stuff like that. And if you were to try to do that on Ethereum, it would get really expensive really quick. So what you do is you take your characters and your money and you migrate it over to another chain, like in this case it's Ronin. And there was a big hack on the bridge which you migrate to the other chain, and a lot of people lost a lot of money for that. And I know Axie Infinity lost a lot of money and momentum for that, and it's good to see them back up 23.5%. I don't know. So, if you like Axie Infinity and you believe in the future of play to earn gaming, I mean, it might be actually a good time to get into it, but don't listen to me. Like, I don't know jack squat about play to earn gaming. I do play one play to earn game. It's called Freaks and Guilds. And, I don't know. I just started doing that because of my neighbor, and now that's just my play to earn game that I play, but it's a pretty good game. All right. So let's see here. Theta Network's up 12.6%. And yeah, I think that's about as far as I'm going to go today. Zilliqa, man, I actually did well on them back in the day. They were kind of they're another layer 1 blockchain that's focused specifically on sharding, and that's basically parallel processing for blockchains. And what that does, just think of like a multi-lane highway. You have only 2 lanes in a highway in a road, and you have a lot of people trying to go down it. It's going to cause a lot of traffic real quick. But if you add a bunch of lanes, then it's kind of, well, in theory, it's supposed to alleviate traffic. But if you live in Houston, all it does is just widens the traffic network. So anyway, let's see. All right, so that's about all I have from there. My main focus today is really on DAOs and DAO tooling. I'm a member of several DAOs. Like my main DAO is Bankless DAO, where I do a bunch of stuff in the AV guild there. I'm also a member of the Open Current DAO. I'm a member of the Journo DAO. I'm a member of the Republic DAO, which has just started out, and that's an app that basically uses the tools that are built in something like an iPhone, and that collects your data, and then it collects it for you to own and use, rather than for Apple or those other companies to own and use on your behalf without you even knowing about it. So, that's pretty cool. Anyway, but in those DAOs, you earn the DAO token in a lot of cases, and you perform tasks, and the DAO has a treasury or a treasury guild or something like that. And then from there, when they have, like, for instance, Bankless DAO has seasons, and at the end of the season, everybody gets paid out for all their activities, or they're doing it now monthly in Bankless DAO, depending on what guild you're in, I think. And so yeah, you get paid out for your activity, your time spent in there, in the token of the DAO. And that's been a really cool thing. Bankless DAO has really helped a lot of people go full DAO, and it is a media DAO. So you probably start seeing more and more stuff come out of the Bankless DAO, like in the form of our podcast. If you follow me on Twitter, you've seen me post about Bankless Africa, Crypto Sapiens, and several other podcasts. Bounty Hunter, they're all coming out of the Bankless DAO and out of the podcast hatchery. And as a media DAO, that's just one of those, just some of the content that's coming out, and it's starting to catch the attention of a lot of people outside of the DAO, potential sponsors or grant entities, that are interested in pushing Web3, and that's really what everybody in the Bankless DAO is about. And I know the Bankless DAO receives some criticism for this or that, but really everybody in there is earnestly, especially during this bear market, is in there for the tech. Like we're there because we want to grow and discover how Web3 can make all of our lives better, and how DAOs can make our lives better. And in a way, we're feeling our way around as we go along on how to DAO. And if you don't know what DAOs are decentralized autonomous organizations. They're basically If you have a traditional company or an organization, they're built from the top down, in a hierarchical structure, and the CEO, the executive committee or whatever pulls the strings, and that's it. But in a DAO, everybody is an equal shareholder, I guess. By virtue of owning the tokens, you can participate in the governance process and steer the direction of the DAO. And so it has a central treasury, which is managed by a multi-sig wallet. So it's not just one person with the purse strings. And in a lot of cases, there's a grants committee that decides on, what grants are approved, and those people in that grants committee are voted into the grants committee. So it's a pretty horizontal process, and different DAOs approach this different ways. Some claim to be decentralized, and this really just decentralization theater. Others are more decentralized. Others are trying to get there, so they're incrementing it in a step-by-step process. I mean, there's a lot of different ways and levels of decentralization going on in DAOs. I don't know of any particular DAO that is fully decentralized right now, but over here is my Discord, and hold on, let me pull this out. And I'm currently in the Journo DAO Discord server, but right now Discord is pretty much the top DAO tool. And over here, you can see some of my DAOs that I follow or I'm in. Here's Journo DAO right here. Down here's Open Current. I have the Cafe DAO. Here's Crypto Sapiens. Here's Hip Hop Heads. The Lex DAO, Levex DAO, Sifu Vision. Tokel, Freaks and Guilds, and then here's my fave Bankless DAO. One of the members of the Bankless DAO and the Audiovisual Guild with me. Her name is Red Crystal Dragon, and every morning she has a goal where she wakes up and she draws something new every day, and she does that live in the morning, and does it through her own DAO server right here, her own server. So you could log in and follow along with that if you wanted. Then Republic DAO right here. So here's Aragon DAO, build space. So Discord is really one of the main tools. I think Discord is a really cool app to learn. If you're into online socializing, basically. But if you've ever used Slack as well in your job or your business mindset or whatever you do, for work. If you've ever used Slack to collaborate, Slack and Discord are pretty much really a lot alike. So they did try to incorporate Ethereum into Discord a while back, but the CEO wanted it. But then all the people that use Discord, which are mainly gamers, because that's how Discord started out, not for crypto heads. It started out for gamers, and they did not like the idea that Ethereum would be implemented into Discord. And a lot of gamers, they don't like crypto people because of the whole, crypto people, to be honest, like the miners have driven up the price of the GPUs, the graphics cards. And, so gamers don't like the fact that the price of their graphics cards have gone up because crypto people are using them to mine things like Ethereum. And a lot of times the play to earn games, they aren't the decentralization aspect of it, and the fact that crypto, is being implemented into the gaming space. They've come out with games that aren't really up to snuff and up to par of what they're used to, and like playing Call of Duty and stuff like that. There is a lot of work in progress to be made with gaming. With crypto capability attached, but it's getting there, and I think a lot of the gamers, once they fully understand how they can own all that gold and all those parts and items that they earn in the game, and then when they get bored and tired of the game and they have to crap out of the game and leave and they're just done with it, they've wasted a ton of money on that game. By the time that game's over, they bought the game first, and then after they bought the game, they're sitting there, in a lot of cases buying items, or they spend a lot of time, like sweat equity, earning those items, like this special gun or this special, bulletproof jacket or whatever they've earned, and the money that they've collected and all that. By the time they're done with that game's over. But what if they could sell their items for something like Ethereum when they're done with the game, and then go to their next game and start buying back new items. So not only, and so they won't have to start from zero in the new game. So not only have, so not only have they advanced in that game, and become this like super godlike gamer, they could take that experience and go apply it to another game, all their equipment and money and experience. And so the world as a whole, the entire world, the entire metaverse, I guess I hate to use buzzwords, but I mean, the entire metaverse becomes a game as you go from game to game and you build your character up. So you don't always have to start back at zero with each game you play. So, that's just kind of something that some gamers are really starting to catch on to, but not a lot yet, because the decentralized blockchain gaming side of things hasn't quite gotten up there as far as like game quality, like graphics quality, speed, things like that. So, I don't know. But anyway, I was talking about Discord as DAOs, Discord being used for DAOs. There are other DAO tools out there. Like Aragon here, this DAO, I believe it deals with, governance and how to organize your governance within DAOs, to maintain that decentralized structure, but to also implement some kind of specific rules in your DAO. They have things like colony.io, which is a DAO framework. They have Hive, that allow you to navigate through your DAO. There's DAO House, that allow you in a Discord type of way to message each other and to have town halls and town hall meetings. Because in Discord you can have audio meetings, and then you can connect your camera and you can have everybody in a Zoom style call as well. You can do those in other DAO platforms as well. I don't know if Colony and Hive allow that, or DAO House, but I do know that there are some that allow stuff like that. So I can't really get into the specifics on that. But and then there's tooling like Dework right here. Dework allows people to connect their wallets, and they can look for bounties in their specific DAO, maybe bounties that have been assigned to them specifically, so they can complete the task. And after they've completed the task, then the money can automatically transfer into their wallet, or it can notify the person who created the bounty saying, hey, it's time for that. And then the treasury ops people can mark it down as completed, and then at the end of the month pay them. So Dework is a really cool tool for that. So not everything has to be manually recorded. A lot of times it automatically gets recorded, and these bounties can be organized in a really good way, because how do you assign tasks in a DAO, and then how do you know when they're completed, and how can you tally up what's been done as far as how much compensation needs to be owed? Well, Dework is a really great tool for that. Here I am in the Crypto Sapiens Dework, and I've created a bounty. Let's see here, open tasks. Well, anyway, I created a bounty for a content edit for the next episode of Crypto Sapiens, which would be called Fight Club. And it's basically a decentralized venture capital investment club within the Bankless DAO. And it's not pulling up right now because my computer's slugging. But you kind of get the picture. And then, once that is completed, it will notify me that it's been completed. And then also the ops person in Crypto Sapiens, Lord Homie, will see that as well and be able to tally that in the total for whenever payroll actually happens. So, access denied. Oh, I have the wrong wallet connected. Okay, that's why. Okay, anyway, so yeah, that's that. So Dework is a really good tool for creating bounties, because otherwise we were using things like Notion, and Notion is actually a really good tool. I did not like Notion for the longest time, but it's a great place to organize your life. And if you're an organization, to organize your thoughts and everything, and you can create, it's a web address, and you can make it public or private or whatever, but you can make it to where people on the outside can see what you're doing. So a lot of people use Notion as their documents for their project that they post up online. So, and I've seen this in a lot of cases for protocols and other DAOs and stuff like that. There's always there's the roadmap, there's the about, there's the main page, and then there's the white paper, and then there's the docs section. And a lot of times the docs section is done in a Notion page. So yeah, here we go. Here's the bounty board for Crypto Sapiens. It's deprecated now. The bounty board has been migrated to Crypto Sapiens Dework. So yeah, we've upgraded. Yeah, and so that. But before it was upgraded, I would have to go in here and I would have to create a task, basically creating a new row in this, and people would check when it's done. Kind of had a little steeper learning curve because Notion is a little harder to learn than something like Dework. But you kind of get the picture here. Here's all the tasks that needed to be done. Here's the main Crypto Sapiens Notion page. It can kind of give you an idea. Notion's great. It took me a long time to warm up to it, honestly, just because it's like, I didn't want to have to learn another, something else. But if you're, I think it too, if you're trying to organize thoughts in an organization, here's a calendar that you can put in this. If you're trying to organize the thoughts of yourself or an organization, Notion, if you know how to use it properly, is a really good tool to use. So, here's website and social links for Crypto Sapiens, about us, mission, manifesto, roles and work groups, work ethos, new podcast, how to become a contributor, a bunch of resources, and you can create links to docs, and then you can make whatever public you want to make public. So yeah, it's a super useful tool. But anyway, yeah, we moved to using Dework for that specific bounty board. So people could know what tasks are up to be completed. Okay, so anyway, another tool that people use a lot of times in DAOs are multi-sig wallets. And what multi-sig wallets are, they're basically a crypto wallet. Let's see, let me do Gnosis multi-sig. All right. And they're crypto wallets that have several keys, and you can assign multiple keys, up to, I think, you can have people 3 to like 9, I think. I don't know, maybe even more than that. But basically the principle of a multi-sig wallet is not one person has the keys to a treasury. So for any decision that needs to be made, it takes multiple people in order to be able to turn the keys. Like, think of nuclear launch codes, and you have all the times the movies, and you have all, the president and the secretary of state and the vice president, and then some random schmo, that needs to come in there, and they all need to turn their nuclear launch keys at the same time, then boom, we have world destruction, but only if everybody agrees upon world destruction. But sometimes in the plot of the movie, the maniacal, dictator will come in there and he'll find some way to subvert the whole idea of the multi-sig wallet, and end up, destroying the world because he woke up because somebody pissed in his Wheaties. So anyway, let's see here. So yeah, this is Gnosis multi-sig wallet, and just the most trusted platform to manage digital assets on Ethereum. Gnosis is basically all reliable, and it does have a lot of things that can be a pain in the ass, but it's just what people use. Gnosis Safe supports Ethereum, ERC20 tokens, ERC721. You can also see the fiat values of your assets. And you basically create a Gnosis vault for whatever DAO you're in, and then you create the multi-sig holders. I'm a multi-sig holder on several in several wallets for different DAOs and different guilds and stuff like that. You want to pick somebody that's kind of, you don't have to pick somebody that's like a pro in the DAO, but you have to pick somebody that's around, that you can easily ping, because when it comes time to sign that multi-sig and pay people, you don't want to have to like wait 5 days after you pay somebody, to wrangle everybody together to trigger that wallet and trigger payment, because that can be a pain in the butt. Also, two, Gnosis is on Ethereum. So there's a lot of times gas price issues. And then, everybody signs a transaction, and who's ever the last signer is the one that ends up getting stuck paying for the gas. And that can be a pain in the butt, So you don't want to be that last one, especially if gas happened to have spiked. Maybe whenever you're signing the project, you didn't know it, but there was some NFT drop for the other worlds or something like that, and gas just suddenly spiked right when you sign the wallet, and you're just like, crap, man, this is like a $55 transaction. And then you have to go to the DAO treasury, and you have to sit there and go through what's called the purgatory of multi-sig purgatory of waiting to be reimbursed for your multi-sig payment. And then, because, you don't want to have to foot the bill for the entire guild. So the DAO treasury should reimburse you. But then there's a transaction on top of that for reimbursing you, and so it just turns into this like mess. So there's other ways of dealing with multi-sig stuff, or payment on Polygon instead of Ethereum as well now is available, which is done through something like Parcel.money. So yeah, Parcel.money is great. I believe it does allow payment on Polygon instead of Ethereum, but also payment on Ethereum. It's a lot cheaper way to do the transactions. So yeah, it's a set of Payment OS operating system for the contributor economy, a suite of tools to scale DAO financial operations and empower DAO contributors. So the more tried and true DAOs and more popular DAOs are getting, there's so many more amazing tools that are coming out for them. What makes them special? We help you navigate past the slow and frictional world of on-chain DAO payments with our elegant near zero gas platform. So yeah, as I explained to you, the whole idea of gas in Gnosis wallet is a real bummer, honestly. But you can take your Gnosis wallet and connect it to Parcel, and then that Parcel streamlines that for you. So there's one-click mass payouts, optimize payroll for a growing DAO contributor base, track and execute fast-paced settlement across teams with any ERC20 or Polygon native token. Yes, so Polygon is supported, and CSV files are supported. So what you can do is you can create a CSV spreadsheet in Excel, or create an Excel spreadsheet and then export it as CSV. You can upload it, and then Parcel pays it all out according to the CSV file. I don't think that's available in Gnosis. I think you have to enter in each person and how much they're going to be paid and their wallet address as well, and basically create it in Gnosis. So here you can upload it. I think there is a third-party plugin which you can do that in Gnosis, and I've tried it, and I don't think it didn't seem to work for me. But I'm not the ops person or the finance person. I'm just the showboater here talking about it. So I don't know. Battle tested multi-sig, facilitate all your DAO operations through multi-sig smart contracts powered by Gnosis Safe, the open source ecosystem standard. And there's payroll workflows, save time and eliminate redundant processes by enabling automated payroll workflows for your core team and contributor working groups in USD value or any ERC20, Ethereum, or Polygon native token. Payment requests, aggregate and execute payment requests along with the ability to review a contributor's work portfolio through our compelling payment request feature, and a contributor profile. This empowers contributors to share work and facilitate payment requests to DAOs. So yeah, like I said, it combines with Dework. You can, same thing with Gnosis. Just as long as you have your Ethereum address, all this, can plug into the same thing, and you can plug into Parcel through your Ethereum address. And then there's one more that I discovered just last night. Keith Axline over at the Journo DAO. He's an amazing guy. He's super curious about the space, always, putting new stuff out there, like saying, hey guys, what do you think of this and that? He's also the founder of Republic DAO. So he's one of the founders of Journo DAO and Republic DAO and Factland. And so, yeah, he's really got a whole lot of stuff going on, and he's on the West Coast. Yet he's probably still up right now at 5:11 a.m. He's up at 4:30 in the morning every single morning. So yeah, kudos to you, Keith. I've gone on sometime early in the morning and he's like, hey, good morning. I'm just like, dude, you're up? Like, I'm up early and you're on the West Coast. So anyway, so Utopia Labs is what he discovered, and it's collaborative payroll and expense management for DAOs. And so let's see what's going on with this. Trusted by leading DAOs to streamline operations, manage payroll, and consolidate financial reporting. Okay, doesn't seem that much different than Parcel. But let's scroll on down. An operating system for DAOs. Automate payroll, so you can schedule the recurring payments. Oh, cool. To team members and core contributors in USD or token values. So you can go in there and you can put in, I want payment. I want $100 in Ethereum paid to this person. So whatever Ethereum happens to be at the time that the transaction goes through, it will calculate out to $100 worth. And that's a really good thing to have to kind of, that's kind of a pickle to have to navigate around, is constantly trying to figure out if you've negotiated something with somebody in dollar amounts and then the price of Ethereum is constantly fluctuating, you're constantly having to readjust. I know there's another DAO that I was working with in the past that's going through this right now. They're still to this day, several months later, trying to figure out, because they didn't expect the price of Ethereum to drop, yet they had committed to paying everybody a specific share and amount, and then they had outside vendors, which they promised in dollars, and the price of Ethereum dropped, so suddenly they don't have the money in their treasury to cover everything that they'd promised everybody, and it's turned into a big mess, honestly. That if they would have, well, I mean, if they would have paid on time and early, it would have resolved a lot of that, before the price of Ethereum dropped, but they didn't. But maybe something like this type of tool that can automatically calculate, the translation between Ethereum and dollars might have helped some. I don't know. And then back to Utopia Labs, and an operating system for DAOs that helps to manage expenses, empower contributors with frictionless expense and reimbursement requests that can be accepted for signing by any admin. It can take people out of that reimbursement purgatory, that I was talking about, of having to wait and go to the Treasury Guild or the Ops Guild to say, hey, I spent this gas because I was the last signer on this transaction. It helps to organize contributors, invite contributors, and manage roles in working groups, plus easily understand past contributions and total compensation for each contributor. Gasless transactions and batch execute payments in a single multi-sig transaction without paying gas. That's right. No more having to reimburse for gas. Interesting. Okay, I'll get back to that. And then maintain transparency. Your Utopia Analytics dashboard gives members full transparency into real-time financial reporting and treasury management. Cool. And then ensure compliance. Utopia offers a suite of compliance features, including tax withholdings on local, state, and federal levels in 11,000 plus tax jurisdictions and end-of-year W-2 and 1099 filings. That is awesome. I know that there's something called Opolis, and that's another type of collaborative DAO that allows people who are freelance workers and DAO workers to be able to do things like have benefits and do their taxes and stuff like that. And basically, I think you redirect your payments to them, and then they figure it out, and then it goes to you after everything's settled. So it looks like it has some of those types of tools in here within Utopia Labs. So that is a big plus. So you can automate this payroll also in Utopia Labs. So save payments for recurring payroll and compensate team members and core contributors in US dollars or token values. So here's what I was talking about. So pay May Flores as $1,500 USD as Ethereum twice monthly. So on payday, whatever $1,500 is as ETH that day will be transferred. So you don't have to deal with all these, conversion issues. So that's cool. Organize contributors, invite contributors and manage roles in working groups, plus easily understand past contributions and total compensation for each contributor. And it looks like each person can receive different labels or tags as to what they contribute to. So it looks like May Flores here contributes to operations as UX, UI designer, core team. So maybe if they have those tags and it's payday time and they're paying according to tag, so they're paying out operations that day, May Flores will automatically be a part of that because they own and have the operations tag on their profile. So that's pretty cool too. Unify accounting, easily tag and organize and understand transactions from across wallets. All right, cool. And manage expenses, reimburse contributor expenses in minutes with shareable request links. So if there's any reimbursements that need to be done, say for instance, software. I've had podcasting software on my personal account for a while for Bankless DAO, that I was, out of kind of just being, nice, that I wanted to help support the DAO, and it would be reimbursed. But a lot of times that reimbursement has taken forever to get back to me. And by the time it's reimbursed, the value of the bank token has gone down. And so basically I've had some impermanent loss on there, or permanent loss on there, so yeah. So that sucks, but it is what it is. But it looks like there's tools now that are kind of fixing that. So here's Utopia Labs Twitter, and looks like they're hiring, is what it said on the thing. So we're hiring on Twitter. Big news for. All right, so let's see here. While I wait for my computer to boot up. Take a sip of my pre-workout drink before I go skateboard. Going to the skate park to go hang out with some of my homies in the early morning. That's what getting old looks like. It's whenever you have other old dude friends and you meet at the skate park early morning. I always wondered why church guys always had men's breakfasts. Why men's dinners? Because men are tired in the evening because they've been hanging out, at their job or with their families all day, and then they just want to go to sleep. So men's breakfast, because we wake up and we just sit there and putt around the house with twiddling our thumbs, trying to figure out what to do with ourselves if we don't do something like go to the skate park. So anyway, big news for Utopians. We've officially gone gasless, and to celebrate, we're letting DAOs make free transactions on Utopia all month long. Okay, so they're having a special introducing gasless execution on all Utopia transactions. What do we mean by gasless? On Utopia, a signer no longer needs to pay the gas for their DAO payments. We've got you covered. All you have to do is press execute on our new signing page, and we'll take care of the rest. David Phelps said, David Phelps is a blogger. I like his content. He creates really good content. He said, imagine designing a multi-sig wallet where 99% of use cases are approving transactions, and you have to click a sidebar and then a nav bar and then the transaction and then execute button to do so. And none of these are labeled in any remote way approved transactions. And that's another thing in Gnosis, is kind of a navigation nightmare a lot of times. And it took me a long time to try to figure out what is what in navigating the approved transaction space. And a lot of times in the multi-sig within the group, I thought that I had clicked on approve transaction, and then 2 days later I get pinged being like, hey John, did you approve, can you please approve this transaction? I was like, I thought I approved the transaction. So yeah, Gnosis was kind of a navigation nightmare in that aspect. And then it said, and then David follows up with saying, oh yes, and then you execute the transaction and have to pay for it yourself rather than from the multi-sig. Incredible design. He's being sarcastic. So then Swoldegen AF.eth replied to David, said, which wallet is this? Gnosis? Are there alternatives? I was actually just about to make my first multi-sig today for my first generative project. And then he says, yep, Utopia Labs is leaving message about being an alternate above. And then, so Utopia Labs responded there, and then down below another response, and then people want to be refunded from the multi-sig for all the transactions, but that in itself has required another transaction. It's painful. You don't even have to name the product. Yes, I know exactly what it is. So yeah, in the crypto world and in the DAO world, Gnosis has this kind of bittersweet reputation. All right. Anyway, so let's go over here to the roadmap of Utopia Labs real quick before I sign off. I know this is kind of a long episode today, but yeah. So there's vesting payments that are allowed. Create vesting payments, and they're investigating that right now to add that functionality with complete custom vesting schedules and streaming payments. And I know a few episodes back, I talked about, I can't remember what the name of the service was. It was called Sablier Finance, that allows you to plug in your wallet And say, for instance, you want to pay somebody to do a job, instead of having an upfront payment and then a payment in the middle, then a payment at the end upon completion, you can plug in their wallet and have them a streamed payment, and you can give them 2 weeks to do the job. And all the while they're doing the job, that money is just trickling into their wallet. So you don't have to worry about several, upfront, midterm, and ending payments. It's just constantly going into their wallet during that time schedule, and you can be checking on their progress. That's sablier.finance, SABLIER.finance. And that allows you to be able to, and if you're checking on them and they're not doing the job as needed, then you can cut that payment stream. So it looks like they're kind of looking at implementing that same type of functionality here with the vesting payments. And then another one over here, let's see, I saw cross-chain and multi-safe support. Finally, a complete picture of your DAO's treasury holdings across multiple wallets. Connect Gnosis safes from any EVM-compatible blockchain or L2, and fulfill Utopia transactions requests from all your connected safes all the way through signing without ever leaving Utopia. We will start supporting Polygon and Arbitrum. So they're starting with Polygon and Arbitrum, which is cool. It says any EVM compatible blockchain. I mean, there are a lot of EVM compatible blockchains. I know Cosmos is EVM compatible. Theta blockchain is EVM compatible. Zilliqa even is EVM compatible. I mean, Solana is EVM compatible. So a lot of these blockchains are EVM compatible. Does this mean they're going to be able to have cross-chain payments? That's really cool if so. So I don't know. And then compliant payroll. Utopia's compliant payroll will enable DAOs to link to a U.S. legal entity and bank account and onboard team members as W-2 or 1099 employees and make tax withheld payments right from their Gnosis safe. So you won't really need to mess with, if you're going to Opolis for a lot of these tax issues, you won't need to use that unless you're just going for benefits for Opolis. If you're just going for tax purposes, you could bypass that and just do it in one place here, it looks like. So, and then they have a pretty dashboard as well. So I don't know. So yeah, it's something to look into. I will definitely spend more time looking into this and just kind of learning more of the ins and outs. Anyway, that was this episode about DAO tooling. I just, kind of just wanted something to talk about this morning, and tooling is always, a major topic for those of you who are involved in DAOs. And right now I'm in like this weird little crux, or this point in my career where I have a job offer it's starting August 8th, and it's a good solid job. Doesn't pay as much as I had asked, but getting in with this company is a little bit hard, and I got in and I got an offer, and I would start August 8th. But I won't have time to do anything like this, like literally that will suck all my time up, and I might have to travel and do stuff like that. And I don't know if I want that, honestly. Or I could go full DAO and continue on down all this podcasting route. I do have some work, here and there, but it just pays in the DAO crypto token. And I don't like to sell that token. And it's just not enough to live on, but I want to bet on myself, and I want to think that some kind of opportunity will be coming down the pipeline that will allow me to pay for all my bills and continue forward on this path I'm on. But I'm getting to the end of the rope. Like, I'm having to cash out crypto in order to pay my bills. So I don't know how long that's going to be able to last. And, I have till basically August 8th to make this decision of which path am I going to go down. So I don't know, man. If you guys hear about any jobs out there that, part-time or otherwise that I can do that'll help me get my bills paid so I can continue down this Web3 path, let me know. I'm sitting here scrambling on LinkedIn trying to take as many courses to make myself as valuable as possible to get some kind of work if I could get a work from home job, that would help with all this. But otherwise, I will have to go down to the office starting August 8th and work as a project manager for an audiovisual company doing installations for audiovisual stuff. So, I like the job, but it's going to pull me away from all this. And it's kind of bittersweet in a way. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys when I'll talk to you when I talk to you. All right. Have a good Sunday. Bye. Thank you for making it to the end of this program. If you actually like this content, give a thumbs up. And if you want to hear more, just hit the subscribe button. I'm available on YouTube, Odyssey, and BitChute, and on all the major podcasting platforms in audio version. Spotify specifically. If you would like to follow and leave a review, that would help a lot. I am also available on Twitter at EurekaJohn1. That's EUREKA John, JOHN, and the number 1. My DMs are always open. Feel free to shoot me a message. Thanks again.